one thing about this infinite process of expansion is, one, it's scientific. It's just, you're never going to get done with it. You're always going to want something else. And the endless nature of it really frustrated me at first, because I thought that once you got to a certain point, you just could stop trying and stop wanting and just let everything go whichever way it needs to go. But I promise you, even with this messy room I have, even if I cleaned it up and I left it alone and I didn't touch anything, it would decay as well. Everything is going to entropy, fall away. And in life, that's just nature. So part of like being a witch, which I'm sometimes reluctant to associate with, because I understand how it can scare people. But now I'm on the part of my journey where it's actually my job to push people away and to scare people, because it implies a level of freedom from judgment or thought that other people feel that they can influence you on, unless you're in a situation where people will focus too much on you in your personal life. For that, I'm in a liberal environment. No one gives a damn. They actually love it. I say, read my palm. Anyway, that's not what I do, but I can pretend. So a focus I wanted to bring back into light is, you don't have to pretend to not want things. It's just a statement of science. Like, you can't want something and have it at the same time. Have you ever really, really wanted something and then you get it and like you're excited about it? And it's like that same moment you don't want it as much anymore. It's like when you get to the vacation and you're already thinking, I only have 3 days here, or I only have 3 months, or I only have 3 weeks. But by the time I'm here, it'll be a blink of an eye. And I know that when I'm having fun, it's going to go so fast. And, you know, it can make you a little nihilistic and get back to the place of like, life is pointless. Why even bother? I'll be back in the same place again. Well, because the more you do it, the more highs you can have, more wonderful experiences you have, and then you find this wonderful center that you have in yourself where you're not needy. And honestly, maybe it's because I've had all these experiences that it's just so much better. But you want to normalize the good in your life, and it's not to say like, oh, I don't need money, I won't focus on that, or trying to play it cool where you're like, if I don't get it, everything's going to be all right. You don't have to tell yourself that. Life is going to show you that. So don't try and justify to you or anyone else that everything's going to work out. Just experience time and patience and you'll see that. Don't try and convince yourself anything. Feel what you feel and try and do something to take your mind off of things that are not serving you in that moment. And that's one of the main points that I like to do. In my next video, to clarify this one, my next video, which I'll shoot shortly after this, I want to talk about how to do your first level of spelling for a person who is new to this and wants to find the easiest way to transition in where it doesn't feel like you're lying to yourself at first, which can happen when you start writing yourself those big checks and you're still like depending on like someone to save you, where you're just thinking like, maybe if they just come around the corner and I'll just be so happy, you know. It's like, by the time you get there, it's one of the things that took a while for me to come to terms with. All this stuff will be the next logical step. Getting it is just going to make sense. Not going to feel like, oh my God. And you know what? I'm going to put this on my easel so it stops moving. It's nice when that happens for people, but, and I've had it happen for me, shopping sprees and trips I didn't pay for. And it was nice, but it's gone so quickly. It wasn't that sweet when you feel like you're in a place where you're indebted to another, or even if you think that person is your God, it doesn't keep up with your momentum, because then you start thinking about what you deserve, and sometimes we're not always nice to ourselves. And if you're powerful in that way, which your universe is going to justify whatever you think will have to be for you, then you can just as easily end up back on the opposite side of that. Anyway, I'm gonna start painting and thinking about how to structure my next set. And it's absolutely one of the simplest things you'll ever do out of any of this, and it's the most effective, and you don't have to believe it. You don't have to like change your mind about anything. It's just like, okay, I did it, and then you just watch and see what happens. So you don't have to believe me. You don't have to think I'm great. You don't have to think that I have more wisdom than you. I don't. Or I have more answers than you. I don't. This is all available to all of us. We're all equal. Anything you see in me is a reflection of you. Anyway, I love this filter. I have pimple patches on. I'm just, yeah, no makeup, but filter. Filter makes it possible to just film on a whim and not feel insecure about it. I love technology. I love that you are even here and you listen to this. Feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm putting this out as feelers. I'm not charging anyone for anything. I love connecting with other people who want to have all of this community with magical light. So the other stuff I do charge for, though, is mostly art. Anyway, bye.